Yo, do you want to start playing Warframe but you have no idea how to and what to do in the game? Well, today I'll try to explain everything you need to know when starting out the game. Warframe is almost impossible to understand when you're a no player, so I'll try to explain everything in detail. And if you have any questions further on, you can leave it in the comments. I'll probably make a video, another one, to answer all of the questions that you have. So let's begin. Once you start the Once Away quest, you'll be given an option between 3 different Warframes. The first one is Excalibur, a space ninja. Basically, all his abilities revolve around slashing and cutting enemies. Some stun, some impale them with other spears that summon from his sword. One is just a bigger sword that has ranged attacks. Simple. Mag revolves around gravity. Everything you can think of, she has it. Basically, gravity. That's it. The last one, Volt. Fast, shoots lightning, simple as that. Now, between these 3 Warframes, my personal favorite is Volt. The second option for other players, if you don't like the speedy type that attacks fast, is Excalibur. He has strong attacks and he has increased damage when it comes to melee weapons like swords. Mag is obviously the worst option, but she's cool as well. None of them are horrible options, it's just ones are better than the other. I personally would choose Volt because he can also be used later on in the game even though he's a starter Warframe. So yeah, basically you can choose whatever you like, whatever your playstyle is like. As you go on through the quest, you will learn the basic mechanics of the game and you'll be given 3 different choices, basically choosing between 3 different weapons. One is melee, one is secondary, one is primary. Now the difference in weapons is one is a sword which deals slash damage. I'll explain that later. One is a staff that deals impact damage. I'll also explain that later. Now, for the secondary weapon, you have the silent kunai or loud rapid fire pistol. Your choice. And the last a choice for the primary weapon between a silent bow or a loud assault rifle. Your choice again. Alright, after you finish the Once Awake quest, you will be greeted by this ship. Everything will be locked away and you will need to research it, find it during other missions and unlock each of these sections. All of them will be unlocked during the War's Prize quest. The War's Prize quest, I'm not sure if it automatically activates, but if you want to manually activate it, go to this area called the Codex. The Codex is basically the Wikipedia for the entire game. Everything you need to know will be inside of here. Also, all of your quests are there as well. As you saw, the tutorial is pretty fine when it comes to game mechanics, but it does not... That's... okay. But it does not tell you how the game actually functions and what to do after you finish it. The first 2 quests are basically introductions to what's possible in Warframe and gives you 3 different types of missions. This is your navigation, aka a glorified mission select. Once you open it, you will find yourself in this map. As you can see, it's pretty large. You will start on Earth on a mission called E Prime, which is an exterminate mission, which means just kill all the enemies in the area. And then you will slowly progress until you reach Pacific, where there was an assassination mission. Those missions all get explained in the Codex under the Missions tab. As you can see, everything has a short explanation on what to do during the mission if you're ever confused. Even then, I'll try to explain every mission in a few words or less. Here we go. Assassination, you kill one big boss. Capture, you kill one enemy, capture him and leave. How do you capture him? Just press X on him because mouse and keyboard. Or if you're on controller, I'm not sure for the input. Defense, you hold an objective while waves of enemies come to attack you. Every 5 waves you can extract. Excavation, you basically summon a drill and collect power cells by killing enemies to fill up its battery. Once the excavation is done, you can leave. Then you have exterminate missions. Exterminate is basically kill all the enemies in the area, and once you've done that, you can leave. Hijack, you use your shield to move around a big engine. You need to move it from point A to point B as soon as possible. The engine will also lose health during the mission itself, so you need to hurry up. Interception, you hold A, B, C and D points until you reach 100%. You need to kill enemies that also try to capture those points. Invasion, 2 enemy sides are fighting together and you need to pick which side to help out. Mobile defense, basically get a keycard and go to a terminal to activate it. Once you activate it, you need to defend a few enemies spawn in, and you need to do it 3 times for you to be able to leave. Rescue. Basically, you go to an area, unlock a prison cell. There will be like 3 different prison cells, and you need to guess which one is the person. You will have a time limit, and if the time limit passes, the person dies and you lose the mission. After that, you have the option to give it the secondary weapon, and you can just leave the mission, because it's not important if the rescuee is with you. He just doesn't have to be knocked down. If he's knocked down, you need to revive him and go back. Sabotage. Basically destroy a point. Hack it, destroy it. Simple as that. Spy. You need to go into 3 different walls, dodge lasers and cameras, and kill enemies silent so they don't activate alarms. Basically hack a vault to get an unidentified item. You need to do it 3 times to leave. Survival. Every 5 minutes you will be able to leave the mission. This is just kill enemies. You have life support, which enemies drop, and you have these life support like pods that give you 35% life support. And these other ones are not important for now. So those are all the different types of missions that you need to know about. Now after War's Prize, you will be left with this entire star chart and no direction in what to do. You will just have these 5 missions unlocked. All of these will be locked. And you won't have any of these tabs. Now you're wondering what to do after War's Prize quest. Well, my personal opinion is try to unlock as many planets as possible. For example, Mars is hard to unlock because you need to unlock Mercury. Now let's see how to go to Mercury. To Mercury, you need to unlock the Mercury Junction. And these are the requirements. But how to go to Venus? You need to unlock the Venus Junction. Now, you're wondering what are junctions? Junctions are stages with a few requirements that if you complete, you'll be able to unlock a boss fight. The boss fight consists of another Warframe trying to kill you. If you manage to kill the other Warframe, you will unlock a path to the other planet. Now, as you can see, there is a couple of requirements. First of which was the War's Prize quest. That's a tutorial quest, you will have it finished instantly. And during the quest, you unlock 2 different segments of your ship. One of those segments is the Foundry. Foundry is basically the crafting table of Warframe. Everything you need will be in the Foundry. You can craft all of these blueprints. And how do you get blueprints? You get it by trading with NPCs for them. You can also buy them on the market. Now, I would stray away from the market. Market just use to buy a blueprint. This is just purely cosmetics. And if you're too lazy, you can get platinum. You can get weapons with platinum and warframes and everything. Basically just cosmetics. So I wouldn't rely on that. And the other section is the mod section. Now it is explained that during the War's Prize quest what mods do, but I'll explain again. Mods basically increase the base stats of your weapons, warframes and companions. Now, how does that look? If you go to the mods bench, you can see all of your mods that you collected. Each mod has 3 different options you can use on it. This 4th one is not important, you don't need it, trust me. You can sell the mods to turn them into credits, which is basically the currency you gain after every mission. You use credits to buy everything. This is the only currency you can obtain during mission. Now, Platinum is the pay-to-win strategy. Platinum is basically a premium currency like Golden Eagles in War Thunder, for example. You use Platinum to buy items that you wouldn't normally be able to get, like weapon slots or Warframe slots, or formas. All of them you can buy using Platinum. I would save your Platinum. You start with 50. I would suggest you buy slots and slots only because Platinum is hard to come by. You need to sell mods, and some mods sell for 10 platinum, some don't sell at all. So you need to watch out for that. And the last currency is Endo. What's Endo? Endo drops when you kill an enemy. Now you use Endo and credits to level up a mod. As you can see, there's also a Dissolve tab that turns some mods into Endo itself. And the last tab, Fusion, allows you to upgrade the mods. Each mod has these little tiny stars underneath. When you try and upgrade the mod, each star will rank up. This is to display what level your mod is currently. And there's another number on the screen, that's the drain. Each mod has its drain value. Basically what that means is weapons and warframes and companions have limited capacity. So you can increase this capacity by applying two different things called catalysts, reactors. Both of them are Orichin. Now, catalysts are for weapons and reactors are for warframes. There's also stance and aura mods. You will learn about them later on when you unlock new junctions. Basically, aura mods give something to the entire squad. For example, I have this loot detector currently. On the minimap, it will add a 30 to loot radar, basically 30 meters to loot radar to the entire squad, so everyone can see the loot on the map. But it also increases your capacity. Now, the funny thing about mods is they're really expensive. What I mean by that is every time you try to level up a mod, for example, Adhesive Blast, it will cost a certain price and then double that price for the next upgrade. So, for example, rank 1 cost me 1500 credits and 30 endo. The next one will cost 90 endo and 4347 credits. Why is that? Because it took the 1500, doubled it and added it onto the 1500. That's why it's so expensive. It also increases some stat. For example, this mod specifically starts at 17%, first rank gives 33%, next gives 50%. And the most expensive is at its max rank. This is a fairly cheap mod because it's pretty much useless. This is basically you add sticky bombs to grenades. Not that useful. Let me find a simple mod to try and explain it. For example, Vitality. Vitality is a pretty useful mod for sighting. You can search it here. Vitality gives you base health increase. For example, if I want to upgrade Vitality, it's going to cost me 500 credits, 10 endo, and double the health percentage. But each of these stars doubles the price. So by the end, it will cost 500 credits and 10,000 endo. That's not that much because this is a common mod. Each mod will increase its price by the rarity. For example, if I want a really rare mod, for example this Prime Ravage mod to upgrade to the max rank, it's going to cost me 2 million credits and 40,000 endo. So yeah, mods are really expensive. There's also one thing, you won't be able to get it at this stage, but I'll say it now. There's a thing called the Legendary Core, which basically upgrades your mods to the end completely without any price. It costs you 0 credit, 0 endo to completely upgrade it, and it's a rare drop from sorties. Sorties are the thing you'll learn later on because they're high level. Now that that's said, let me explain the polarization of the mods. Now you're wondering what the polarization system. I'm not sure if it explains this during the tutorial, I'm just going to explain it again, like I said. So polarization works like this. Each mod has a certain icon on the top right. And also weapons possess different icon slots. Some are empty and the mod itself will cost a different price. For example, this mod costs 12 drain. And here it gives me 135% damage. If I put it in the correct slot, it's going to have the price. But if I put it in the incorrect slot, that has a different icon, it will increase the price by 1/4 of it. So it's best for you to just add the mods into the correct slots. But if you're wondering how do I fill up the entire thing to have different slots? Because it won't let me give the perfect amount of damage. So you're wondering how to change the polarization of the slots. Basically, when you level up your weapon to level 30, you'll have an option to use a forma. I currently don't have any formas. But once you use a forma, you'll be able to select which slot of the weapon you want to change to whichever icon you want. But it will reset your weapon's rank to rank 1. So you'll start at the level 1 of the weapon, and you'll need to grind it up back to level 30 for you to have the full control of the weapon, I guess. Next up, we have stances. Stances are different melee adaptation mods, basically aura mods for melee weapons. They give you different animations during combos. That's about it. Also increase the capacity on your weapon. For example, this gives me 10. If I remove it, I no longer have 10. Simple as that. There's also arcanes, not important, trust me. Later on you'll find out what they are. Alright, now that that's cleared up, let's get back to what to do in actual Warframe after the War's Prize. Basically, like I said, try to unlock different planets. For example, Venus requires you to do Ceres Vigil quest. Now it tells you where to find it. You need to speak to the man called Konzu on Cetus. So on Cetus, when you talk to Konzu, he will give you a quest or a bounty, which basically says prove yourself, which means you are loyal to them and you won't betray them. After you finish the quest, you'll have the option to talk to Konzu again, and he will have a dialogue option with a small quest icon next to it. Once you press that icon, he will tell you find Saya. He will tell you their backstory and what happened and everything, and he will say basically find Saya and ask her for her side of the story. So this is Konzu. He will give you a bounty. Basically, to explain the quest, Saya's husband went missing and you need to find him by opening up his diary or whatever it is. So this is Saya. She won't be here when you start the quest. She will be in this direction, so I'll show you right here. I won't cut anything. She will stand to the next to the fountain this way. Right here. So Saya will be here. Saya will be here. You need to talk to her to start the quest. Once you finish Saya's Vigil, which won't be completed, you will be introduced to the thing called the Codex scanner and how to use items and stuff. After you finish the Saya's Vigil quest, you will be introduced to the Cetus's rank up or family system. What's a family system, you're wondering? So there's a couple of different mission nodes, as you can see. Plains of Eidolon is the open or free roam area of the Cetus. Cetus is basically a lobby where you pick your missions and go into the free roam section. Free roam, just a large map where you can do whatever you like. You can mine, you can fish, you can kill enemies, you can farm them for different loot and stuff. By the way, there's a fast travel option if you're too lazy to walk over there. So fast travel to Konzu, and he is the leader of the village. You basically talk to Konzu to gain, to activate the bounties themselves. Each bounty gives you a different amount of standing. Now you're wondering what's standing. Basically, there's this thing called the daily standing cap limit. Your limit will be a little lower than mine because I upgraded a different thing called syndicates. They won't be important for a bit, right? So my current standing limit is 20,500, which means for each section that requires some amount of standing, this is all I have for today. For example, there's a thing called Ostrom standing. Now when you press, you'll start at the neutral level. Once you fill the gauge up to 5,000 by doing bounties, you will be able to rank up to Off-Worlder. Now this rank will require you to get from 0 to 22,000 standing points, and each rank up costs you some amount of resources. Now you're wondering, what do rank ups give me? Well, to the other villagers, you can trade them for better stuff. Anyway, hopefully that's enough understanding about Cetus. If you have any more question about it, after you finish that, you'll be able to go to this space called the Venus Junction. I will go there now. This is a solo mission, you can do it with the squad. Just to clarify that. Most of the starting missions are solo missions and you will need to do them alone. As you can see, these are the requirements, and now I'll be able to unlock this area and fight that guy. This is Spectre, level 8. Spectres, once you open them, will try to kill you. For example, I need to kill them. I currently have strong weapons, so this will be easy. He doesn't deal damage to me. Spectres are not that hard to kill. Some of them are extremely hard, some of them are not. And once you kill the Spectre, you have an option to go here and activate the junction itself. And the junction will send you towards Venus. Basically, you will unlock a new part of the map. Now, under every junction is what you get from doing the mission itself. For example, on the Venus Junction, I get 5000 credit, Furious Blueprint, Northwind mod, Stormbringer mod, this will be rank 0, they won't be fully maxed out, a Texan Blueprint, Clashing Forest Stance mod, Orokin Reactor, Dreamer's Bond Aura mod, and 500 Salvage. Those are all the rewards you'll claim after finishing the Venus Junction. And then you will unlock the first mission on Venus called E-Gate. After that, you'll be able to choose whatever you like to do. Pretty much. On Venus, I suggest you go to Mercury as soon as possible to unlock this. You can use the Fortuna, which is basically another Cetus, which gives you different stuff. And there's also a mission there. This is optional, you don't need to do it instantly, you can do it whenever. So, the next thing you want to do is try to get to the Mercury Junction. Now Mercury has 3 simple requirements. First is rescue a horses on the Linnea mission. Second, go to the Ceres and clear 10 waves of defense. Basically just defend for 10 different waves or until the second extraction point is available, then you can leave. And the last one is assassinate the Jackal. Now, I'll start this mission to explain it to you. This is the same mission that where you kill a big boss, like War. Jackal is the first boss and he is the only boss that's actually hard to beat in this game, alright? As a starter, you'll have no idea how to beat him. Basically, shoot for his legs. When each leg gets destroyed, he will go in this flying stage and they'll drop down and you will be able to damage him after that's done. For example, this. Just walk up, press X, and kill him. That's one of his 4 lives gone. After you destroy each leg, he will die. You will also destroy these pillars around you, which will turn into electrified fences once they're all activated. It will restrict your movement. For example, this. As you can see, this fence is killing me. After you finish the mission, Jackal will give you 2 different blueprints. One is a weapon blueprint and one is a rhino blueprint. Rhino blueprints are random, you can get the rhino blueprint from the market to buy them. And different blueprints are the neuroptics and systems. Rhino is a pretty useful Warframe, I'd suggest you make him. I made him pretty soon. He's extremely tanky, extremely good. Alright. After you kill the Jackal, you will get a message in your inbox. It will show up as 3 question marks. And it will say your actions have consequences. This is the Stalker. Basically a man that goes around killing you because you killed its boss. And the assassination bosses are paying him to kill you. Now, if you didn't finish the second dream quest, the Stalker will show up as himself, the Stalker. But if you finish the second dream quest, he will show up as the Shadow Stalker. They're the same person, just different skins, I guess. They'll also have 4 different types of weapons they'll have in their hands when fighting you. The 4 weapons are Hate, War, Dread, and I'm not sure, I think Fear. I forgot the last one. Anyway, they have a chance to drop a blueprint. Right now I have a Dread blueprint, I'm pretty sure, yeah. I already made this weapon. They're pretty decent, I say make them. Accept the War. War you will get while playing the quests. I mean, you'll get the Broken War, which is pretty much the same, so there's no need in getting War itself. Now that you killed the Jackal and did the other 2 missions, you'll be able to go to Mercury. Now, with the Mercury Junction, you will unlock 2 different quests with bunch of other stuff. For example, one is an optional quest and one is a required quest. Howl of the Kubrow basically gives you a dog. It's a quest where you need to go and find an egg to breed. Well, this is the skin. To bring this thing. He has armor on currently, but this is just a dog. Yeah, I suggest you do the quest to get a dog. Anyway, that's an optional quest. The other one is Once Awake, where you learn about a new type of enemy called the Infested. Now, after you finish that quest, there's 3 different types of enemies in the game. One is Grenier, the other is Corpus, and the final one is the Infested itself. Now, each enemy basically consists of same types of characters. But these enemies have different types of weaknesses. That's where elemental and different types of damage come into the game. Alright, I realized I stopped recording after a certain part, so I need to explain everything again. Well, fuck me. Alright. Like I was saying, there's 4 different types of elemental damage, called heat, electric, cold, toxin. Each does something different to the enemy. For example, heat ignites damage over time, cold slows, electricity basically chains damage to other enemies, and toxin poisons damage over time again. Each of them can basically fusion between other elements. For example, heat and electric give radiation, cold and toxin give viral. Basically, radiation confuses the enemy, just makes them miss a lot more than usually. Viral damage, for example, reduces their health. Simple as that. Electric and toxin cause the damage to create corrosive. Corrosive reduces armor in enemies. Heat and cold creates blast, which basically knocks down enemies. Heat and toxin make gas. Gas damage poisons them in AoE. Basically create a circle on the ground which creates toxin damage. You know, kills enemies easily. It's usually useful against infested. And then lastly you have cold and electric which make magnetic damage, which reduces enemy shields. Most of the time you just use heat. I'd suggest you use corrosive damage and slash damage. Those are the 2 best options for the most damage possible. Once you finish the Once Away quest, you can go to Mars. You know, you need 250 Rubed. The Rubed is pretty easy to find. It's just on the ground, a red rock. You'll find it on Earth anywhere. Basically, yeah. So, once you finish the Mars Junction, you can go to Mars. Mars unlocks 3 different planets. Ceres, Phobos, Deimos. Now, the Mars Junction itself, it gives you 2 different types of missions. First is the Archwing. You make your wings to fly in space. Simple as that. It will also give you a quest called Cart of Deimos. It will import basically another open world like Cetus and Fortuna. Basically another size Vigil quest. That is necessary for the story, so do it. And the last important thing that the junction gives you is the Void Relic segment. After you make it, you will unlock this area of the ship. This right here. This segment shows you all your Void Relics. Now you're wondering what are Void Relics. Void Relics is the basic gambling system of Warframe. Basically, you go on these missions called Void Fishers. Now, Void Fishers let you open these relics after you collect reactant for killing empowered enemies. I'll show it on screen. Anyway, once you have 10 reactant, you will open the relic and you have a random chance of getting some of these items. Now, what are these items? This is Prime. Prime is basically, you take whatever weapon, whatever Warframe you like, that's in the game, and most of them have a Prime version. Now, what's a Prime version? Basically, Prime Warframes just look a lot nicer than regular ones and have some stats increased. For example, this is Basic Revenant. As you can see, nothing special, he looks cool. This is Prime Revenant. A lot better. Anyway, also on the bottom right, you can see the stat conversion. So on the right is the base Revenant stats and on the left are Prime Revenant stats. Prime Revenant has some stats increased. Simple as that. So that's Prime. Also, there's things you gain by opening relics. Those are called Void Traces. Now, there's a random amount you will gain after opening the relic. After you collect about 100, you can max out a relic and it will increase the chances of getting rare items significantly. For example, these are the chances of getting level 1 item. These are the chances of getting a rare item when the relic itself is maxed out. See a big difference, right? About 5 times more. So yeah, that's about it for the Void Relics. There's one mission which supplies you with a lot of relics and lets you open a lot of relics, and that's Olympus on Mars. So watch out when there's a disruption mission here. These are all different types of missions you can use for opening void fissures. All these tabs are different missions you can do, and they are sorted in different categories, as you can see. So after the relics, hopefully you finished Deimos by now, the quest, and you can move on to unlocking Phobos. Now Phobos requires you to upgrade the one relic and open 3 relics. Simple. And on Phobos itself, you have to complete a certain mission to unlock something called Ceres. Now, Ceres gives you a few rewards, nothing special. But Ceres is important because it gives you access to Jupiter. Now, Jupiter itself doesn't give you anything important. This is the grinding area. Alright? On Jupiter, you can choose to go to Europa or Saturn. On Saturn, you need to complete a mission in Europa. So you need to do Europa first. Now, Europa gives you the new strange quest. And the other quest is Limbo Theorem. You unlock a blueprint for this guy. This guy is pretty good. I suggest you do it. The story mode finally starts at Saturn. And you'll finally finish the tutorial by completing the second dream quest on Neptune. So all of these are the starting planets for the tutorial to finish. All of these are important. This is your goal. Everything after that you'll graze through and learn basically by playing the game. It requires a lot of time, so be patient with it. The game is decently hard. Alright, that's about it. Hopefully you understood something. If you have any more questions, leave a comment. I'll try to explain it in a different video. If you want more in-depth stuff, I'll also make it, I guess. So yeah, that's it. I've been talking for 1 hour now, explaining Warframe systems. I'm gonna go drink water. See ya.